I can now confirm that I will be playing a brand new version of Crimson Desert this week, and I can tell you all about it on March 4th. So stay tuned for a ton of coverage on all my channels. But in the meantime, I want to go over some other recent news, look at some interesting new footage. We want to talk about console performance, because it seems like we got some good news there as well. And overall, I want to ask you if you have like questions or things that you want me to check out during that gameplay demo that I'm going to do this week. Let me know in the comments down below. Like, I'm checking out these comments and I will do my best to find answers for all of them. And I want to start already at the comment section that I saw for my previous preview. Maybe you saw it already. I will leave a link to it in the video description. That was like my 3 hours of playtime up until this point, and kind of my thoughts and things I saw. I saw some interesting questions there that I can actually already address with some brand new gameplay from my Gamescom footage that I've not shown before. So here we have someone asking, can you hide the weapons on Cliff's back? And I saw quite some questions about this. So this is from my August 2025 Gamescom demo. I was able to check this out. Look at it. So after I was like lighting this brazier, I took a look at Cliff. Cliff was like chilling here, and I can just unequip all his gear. So you can really go crazy here. You can go fully naked, even though it looks like this. But I think you can do the same for weapons. You can really kind of mix and match pieces. We know transmog is sadly not in the game, but we of course can change the color and look of all the different items. And we see like it's also very interesting, an amulet here, like a necklace, 2 rings, earrings it seems. But these might include some extra passive bonuses, so it will be interesting to kind of check that out. I love this outfit, by the way. And this is of course that first person mode. Yeah, I showed that in that preview video as well, that you can actually zoom in and then just check the game out that way, which is kind of awesome. And then I tried to equip weapons, but you don't see those weapons. So it's really more just an exploration thing. If you then attack with the weapons, you still hear them. Kind of like... So yeah, it will be interesting to like check out this first person system now in the new version. And then when using your bow and arrow, you will actually zoom out. So yeah, I had to light this on fire. So of course you want to go to the fire and enchantment and then boom. And then we have some very interesting footage from that Gamescom build, but from a Korean player, where he removes the chest piece, as you can see, from the enemy. Like, let's look at that again. So he's like removing the chest piece. Boom, there we go. With like a special move, and you can then pick that up as well. So I was able to play this segment as well and also loot some bodies. I think I have the armor that right here. So the mayor plate armor too. And the cloth piece. So I was like, okay, what is that? Did I grab like a new armor? So I wanted to check that out, but that was sadly not the case. And it turned out to be an armor that you see right here, but that I could only sell for 109 coins. So it was more a, just an item from the enemy that you cannot like pick up and wear, but you can only sell it seems. And of course here on the right side we see all the different sort of accessories as well. Seems like we have a face mask, we have glasses, the necklace, a backpack even. But here you see that shield. Like, I really would not be surprised if you can just unequip it, so then it won't show on your back. But I do think it means that you don't have a shield then. So I do think that every time you have a shield, it will show on your back. And yeah, you saw me looting here, and people were responding to that as well. The thing you're complaining about, where Cliff kneels down and reaches to collect items, is something I actually like. Like, it adds to the detail and immersion of the game. Little things like that really made RDR2 one of my favorite games of all time. And look, on one hand, I do kind of get it, but I wish it was an option. Like, look at this. So here, I'm like fighting, and I'm gonna loot. You put the weapon away, you're gonna kneel down. This takes like 5 seconds. I'm completely out of the experience. So I think it's nice that it's there for people that want it. But I want to be able to switch it up. I want to just immediately grab it without me kneeling down. But yeah, I get that it's kind of subjective. So I saw a lot of you ask also about console performance. So I played on PC but with a PlayStation controller. So I don't really know how the game plays on console. Maybe I will be playing it this week on console. I hope so, because I think that is like a big question mark. The game looks amazing, but how does it run? Like, obviously it runs great on a BVPC, but will my base PS5 from 2020 or the Series S be able to handle it? Well, speaking of Xbox, on their official Crimson Desert like store page, they have the 60 FPS, like zoom in a bit, the 60 FPS tag. They have it right here. And that is only there if the game can run 60 FPS. Now, I totally think that only the Series X is able to handle that, but yeah, that is pretty crazy. Handheld is noted here too, so the Xbox ROG Ally X, I would imagine, is able to run it as well, which kind of crazy. But I looked at the Wayback Machine, so to see if this was always there. And actually, if we go back to, let's say, the page in May 2025, we see that it was actually different at first. They did not really have it. They did say that it was optimized for Xbox single player and ultra HD. So they actually added the 60 FPS a bit later. It was already there, I think, in October, as you can see here. So we only just found out about it now, but still, that is pretty crazy. That yeah, they were later optimizing it and they added the 60 FPS tag. And if you, for example, go to a Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that I would love a 60 FPS mode for, we do see that that game does not have the tag. So it's not that every random game has the 60 FPS tag. It does seem to mean that the game will run 60 FPS at least on Series X, which would mean that PlayStation 5, the base one, likely has it too, while of course the game is also optimized for PS5 Pro. I would not take this as 100% confirmation. Maybe the tags were wrongfully added, but I do think it's at least a step in the right direction. It's a bit of hope. But I think overall they really need to show gameplay, like just a 5-minute or so video. This is the game running on Series S. This is the game running on PS5. This is the game running on Series X. I think that would really go a long way just before launch, so people know, okay, if I'm playing on this platform, this is what my experience will be. Because I would not be surprised if what I play at the event will likely be on another BVPC, but we will see. We got the ESRB rating, but I won't be reading everything to you, but I do want to highlight one line, which is some new information. Players can also attack civilians, though these actions cause guards to chase, apprehend player's character. So we of course know about the wanted system in the game, but what we saw was only stealing, like pickpocketing and stuff like that, but seems like you can really take out these civilians as well. And then also, yeah, we kind of have it here, but that doesn't really show actually killing these civilians. But yeah, then we of course have the wanted system. Everyone else going after you. I really think though, because you see here a -30 on your contribution to this faction, I really think that you either want to do a manual save before attempting this, because if things go wrong, you will lose a lot of reputation. I think maybe for your first playthrough, it will not be very smart to go steal around or go like full GTA in this world. But you can, and that's at least awesome. We learned some interesting details about the voice actors, and it also brings me to some post-launch stuff. So we know that Cliff is being played by Alec Newman from Jack the Ripper, from Syndicate, from Adam Smasher, from Cyberpunk. Unka is being played by Stuart Scudamore from Barnabas, awesome, and Arcane Rictus. And Damien is played by Rebecca, who you can know from The Witcher. She was Eve in Stellar Blade. So, yeah, a great cast, of course. We, of course, start the game with Cliff, and then we can unlock these other characters by playing the main story. And Epic Games posted this article where they asked something to Newman, again, the voice actor of Cliff. We've been together now for almost 5 years on and off. It's strange to think that this will end and Cliff will be out there all over the world battling his way through Pywell. So why I think this interesting is simply because we know there will be post-launch stuff. Will Powers here says, just to make sure, I did say at launch. This is regarding the microtransactions. No microtransactions in Crimson Desert is a massive W. And Will Power said, just to make sure, I did say at launch. We want to make additional content post-launch. I don't want the internet to get mad. So basically, at launch, everything will be in the game, but post-launch we will likely get maybe free updates, and then they will maybe do cosmetic microtransactions. That's what I'm expecting. So going back to that voice actor article, he says that it's strange to think that this will end, that he will not play Cliff again, but if they're going to do extra content or maybe DLC, then he will be playing more of Cliff, right? Or did they maybe already record all that stuff? That's possible that they work ahead already. Or maybe it will not be about Cliff. We did actually learn a bit more about the post-launch in an investor call. So here, following the launch of Crimson Desert, are there any plans for new titles or DLC to maintain the financial stability in 2027 and 2028? With the launch of Crimson Desert just around the corner, we're concentrating all our company's capabilities on ensuring a successful launch. After Crimson Desert, we plan to introduce Doke Fee and Plan 8. And depending on market demands, we're also considering DLC and multiplayer expansions. So that is for Crimson Desert. Like we of course know that Crimson Desert was first planned as an MMO, a prequel to Black Desert Online. That is all not true, it's a single player game, but maybe later on there will be some sort of co-op exploring the world together, or maybe they will do like co-op specific missions. At launch though, it's a single player game and I really can't wait. I am by the way doing a giveaway for the deluxe edition of the game. You can enter via the link in the pinned comments. And yes, I will have way more coverage on the game from that new play session. So that will be starting March 4th. If other news happens before that, I'll of course report it here. So be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.